In a market where house or condo listings are sitting for months, standing out as a seller is not optional. It is actually mandatory, and it's survival if you want to get sold in today's market. So I want to quickly go through 5 out-of-the-box strategies that you as a seller should incorporate and work on with your realtor if you want to be successful in this buyer's market. Because at the end of the day, good listings are selling. So how do you become a good listing? How do you become a listing that's attractive to buyers in today's market? I'm Atta Jaffrey. I've been selling real estate in the GTA, Mississauga, and Toronto for 20 years, and my goal is just to make the buying and selling process simple. So let's get right into it. What are these 5 out-of-the-box strategies that every seller must incorporate to be successful in this buyer's market? Number 1 is understanding buyer psychology. This sums up a lot of things actually, and what I mean by that is you got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. When they walk in, they gotta feel right at home. You gotta really present the home through staging and cleaning and, decluttering and removing all your personal belongings, such as your family pictures. You gotta get rid of those. You really have to put yourself in the buyer's shoes, understand their psychology, which is no rush, no urgency. They'll keep shopping till a special one pops out. So you have to do everything you can to make that home turn into a real comforting, welcoming house so that when they walk in there, they feel like, I can see myself in here. I can see my family in here. And what that actually does, it changes the conversation with that buyer to least in price to best value. That's kind of the position you want. You want to be the best value as a choice for the potential buyer that's walking through the door. Number 2, this is a mindset thing. You as a seller must have realistic timelines. If you don't, you will be disappointed. This is a buyer's market, which means things are sitting for a longer period of time on the market, which means buyers are more in control. So if you have realistic timelines from the get-go, you won't be so disappointed, because the last thing you want is a quick wholesale or a panic decision and you just sell it off right away because you've run out of time for whatever the situation in your life might be in. So if you have realistic expectations from the get-go, you will prepare for that timeline, for that longer timeline that you may have to sit on the market. You will budget better. You will just overall have a better feeling in the market because you know exactly what to expect. It's not an overnight sale scenario. So number 2 is really have realistic timeline expectations. Number 3, and this is mostly for condo sellers nowadays, is you must offer buyer incentives. I know this sounds a little crazy because we haven't really seen this in the market much in the past and we're not really used to this as sellers. But again, you want to set yourself apart. So how can you do that? 9 times out of 10, there are no buyer incentives for these condo listings. So what you can do is maybe offer 1 year of maintenance fees being paid off on behalf of you, the seller. Maybe offer 1 year property tax being paid on behalf of you, the seller. Whatever incentive that you can think of, and these are the main things, property tax and maintenance, it might be worth it for you to cover that expense for them because it could be the incentive that takes you over the top and gets your condo sold. But remember, you have to be visible as a listing outside of the crowd, outside of all the hundreds or thousands of listings that are available. You have to stand out. So a big way to do that is really offer buyer incentives. Number 4, do a little bit of reverse engineering. And what I mean by that is do a pre-listing inspection. So take the onus on yourself as a seller because you've prepared the home, you've done the touch-ups, you've done the minor repairs. So you should have confidence in your home. And that confidence should translate to the buyer that's buying it. And the best way to translate that confidence you have in your home is by doing your home inspection yourself and handing that report over, whatever it may be, to the buyer to review. Many times the buyer will still want to do their own inspection, but it shows a level of confidence that you have in your home, that you had pride of ownership, and you're not afraid to hide whatever may or may not be wrong with the house. A pre-listing inspection really goes a long way in this buyer's market. And number 5 is for you directly as a seller. You must interview at least 3 different agents for the job. They're not just a middleman. They are going to be your strategic partner in this process of selling your home. The days of just sticking a sign in the lawn and praying and hoping it gets sold quickly, and it usually did back in the day, are over with. You need strategy, you need experience, and you need knowledge. And you need to interview 3 different agents and compare what kind of answers they're giving you when you ask very micro market questions, because the agent that you choose to sell your home in your market and in your neighborhood should really know it inside out and should understand the nuances that you may have in your neighborhood or in your type of property, so that they can translate that and they could pass that knowledge along to whatever realtor or buyer is coming through the doors. Directly ask the agent, what is your marketing strategy? What is your pricing strategy? What are your negotiation skills? These are questions that you should really ask any realtor that you are interviewing. And please don't just settle for the first realtor that came to your door, or I'm sorry to say this, even if it is your family member that may be a realtor and you want to help them out and they've only been a realtor for a year or 6 months, the knowledge that they have does not compare to someone that's been in the game for 10 or 20 years, especially when it comes to strategies, negotiating. This is your most valuable asset. You want somebody that treats it the same way with the most level of knowledge. So interview 3 different agents, compare and contrast, and see who's the best fit for you. And lastly, this is very important, whichever realtor you choose to work with, they must have an online presence. They must be able to know how to storytell, and they must be able to do listing videos. And it's not just walking through with the camera, maybe a voiceover, maybe a script. You have to find the realtor that can be super creative with your listing, because that is what's gonna set itself apart. That's what's gonna get all the eyes on it. And the more eyes that are on your listing, the better chances it'll sell. So don't put social media marketing aside. There might be an agent that's been doing it for a very long time, but has very little social media presence. In this day and age, that can sometimes be detrimental to your listing, because everybody's on Instagram and Facebook nowadays, and first impressions of a listing is online, on the phone. So make sure that whichever realtor you choose has a very impactful online presence, they are creative, and they're not shy to be in front of the camera to talk about your listing and to sell your listing. So I hope this helps. These are 5 out-of-the-box strategies that I hope all sellers try to incorporate when they are looking to sell a home. There are many more. I just narrowed it down to 5, and maybe I'll do another video with another 5, but I hope this helps. If you are looking to sell your home, I do have a contact form below. I've been helping sellers like yourself for more than 20 years. So fill out the contact form and someone from my team or myself will reach out to you directly, or you can call me directly at 647-208-9724. So remember, I'm Mata Jaffrey. I've been selling real estate in the GTA for more than 20 years, and my goal is just to make the buying and selling process simple.